Today, on the most detailed review, we're gonna check out the Fashionistas number 5 Hip Hoodie Ken doll. Let's look at the back of the box. Here you'll see all of the dolls in the 2017 line. Not sure why Ice Cream Romper is on the back of this box and the 2016 box, but okay Mattel. We saw every one of these dolls at our local Walmart on December 1st. We got all the ones we wanted. Yes, you heard right. We got all the ones we wanted, cause we didn't want them all. Go back and watch a few of our Q&As and you'll get a better understanding of the kind of collectors that we are. This was one of the ones that we had to have. $8 for this guy, and he's like $50 online right now. There were multiples of all the other dolls, but there was only one of him, and he was in the middle of the display box, totally hidden. Now, the only reason we knew to investigate further once we saw the display of these 2017 Fashionistas is because traditionally the black dolls are behind the white dolls. I'm not gonna go into that right now. I've got a whole doll events video where I go in on all you Mattel reachers who are gonna argue with what I just said. By the way, shout out to my subscriber who told me about that whole term Mattel reaches. Moving forward, we're gonna do a head swap that we be doing to all our dolls to give them articulation, and we're gonna do our Jordan test as well. So let's take him out of the box for his close-up. Fresh out the box, he's freestanding, so that's good. First impression, we don't really like these holes in his head. Mattel, he's already tied down in the box. Relax, he's hollow, he's an $8 doll. I mean, is all of this really necessary? Man, the doll is damaged already and I just opened it. The other thing we don't like is his stiff body. Oh my gosh, it's so stiff and hollow. We have to force his limbs to move up and down, and if I'd have got this for my kid, he'd really have problems maneuvering this dude. One good thing is his body doesn't have that ugly, slightly tilted GQ model pose they keep trying to do with the Ken dolls. That whole thing is too much. The bent elbow and the bent hip and the bent knee coupled with the glossy lips. Who is that for? Nah, this guy doesn't have that. He's got straight legs and straight arms. Very straightforward. We like the straightness of this guy. No pun intended. My favorite thing about this doll is his face. I know Gypsy finds this guy really attractive as well. This is a new head sculpt that we haven't seen on a male Mattel doll before, so it's refreshing to see a new and exciting head sculpt. He's not all smiley and showing you every tooth in his mouth like they normally do with our brown male dolls. He's got a very masculine face, extremely smooth. Chicks dig it when you're nice and smooth. His hair is not rooted. It's molded into a relatively modern style, and my son actually has this hairstyle. This guy kind of resembles what Genu might look like as a teen, in my opinion. He has a very simple face sculpt, thick eyebrows, and brownish eye color. It's really cool that he doesn't have all that gloss on his lips. It seems as if they kept him as masculine as Mattel likes to present their Playline dolls. I know Mattel can make masculine dolls when they want, but they tend not to, unless it's some kind of collector's item. Normally, they make their Playline guys kinda goofy looking, but they didn't do that with this guy, and I appreciate them giving him a hardcore male type of look. He's still very pretty at the same time, but they pulled off the fusion nicely. In the right clothes, he'd look like what we call in my neighborhood a pretty thug. Anyway, let's move on to his clothes. The reason they call him Hip Hoodie is because he's wearing a hoodie, and for some reason Mattel thinks this is hip, although disappointingly there's Velcro in the back, and that's because this is a one piece. Womp womp. Alas, this shirt is not a full shirt. Pretty corny to me. I don't like that at all. I think it would have been better if he had an actual hoodie that was separate from his actual shirt. Then we'd be able to mix and match the clothes. You know, Ken's wardrobe, as provided by Mattel, is quite frankly abysmal. to put it mildly. Like, what is this opening? I know Mattel has some very fashion forward thinking individuals in the style department over there, but yeah, this hole is here. He can put the hoodie on his head comfortably in lieu of his big hair. He has some plain pants, but this is different. His pants don't have a Velcro opening. There's elastic instead, so they can just be slipped on and off easily. Very good, let's keep doing that, Mattel. He's got some white plain low tops that are in a Converse shell toe Adidas hybrid style. And that's different, for Barbie anyway. His whole style is very simple, but it's a bit juvenile. What is this? A jet plane graphic on his shirt? The entire ensemble is anything but urban. This guy is literally dressed like a 5-year-old, and it's a shame because he's such a gorgeous individual. His head sculpt is reminiscent of a fashion royalty doll, but his choice of attire, dreadful. It seems like his mom still buys his clothes. Moreover, it looks like she got this outfit from Children's Place. Let's get it together, Mattel. Now let's show you how his body looks. I like the sculpt. He's got a great body. He can bend at the hip, but he looks like a freaking kindergartner when he's sitting. He's got a juicy butt. Unfortunately, not a lot of posability. His feet, his feet. Gypsy is gonna do our Jordan test to see if we have to keep him in these unattractive shoes he came with. Much better. So the Jordans fit. Go back and watch our Jordans for Barbies video so you'll know where to get you some J's for your Kens. This doll can totally pass for ablation in my opinion. Brazilian, Native American, just so many different races. Now we're gonna do the head swap. Currently, the only articulated Ken with this skin tone is the black Texas A&M Ken. You'll notice this different looking knob. It doesn't allow the head to pivot or tilt like normal. The head can only move from side to side on this type of knob. The only benefit I see is that it can't get broken or lost and become a choking hazard when you're switching heads. Alright, so here's Raymond on Hip Hoodie's body. Not very flattering in my opinion, mainly because the head can't be tilted on this body. Here's Hip Hoodie on Raymond's body. It looks so much better with full articulation. It looks like his head is larger than Texas A&M Ken. Like the neck hole looks like it's wider because V's original body has a narrow neck in comparison to Hip Hoodie. So in the front, it's fine. But from the back, it looks like the back of the head protrudes over the neck a bit. But because it's so difficult to find jointed bodies in this skin tone, you kind of have to make it work. That's actually our motto over here at Broken Barbie TV. We make it work. In all honesty, it looks like V's body is a shade darker than Hip Hoodie's, but it's probably just our lighting. If he is darker, I would have to interject that the difference is so slight it borders insignificant. We totally recommend rebodying Hip Hoodie if you have the means to do so because the skin tones are such a close match. You'll be adding some much needed articulation. And who doesn't like articulation? We are definitely adding this gentleman to our Broken Barbie show cast, so look out for him. Anyway, be sure to like this video and comment on this video and subscribe to this channel while you're at it because, I mean, come on man. Yeah, I know y'all wasn't seeing it like this before we came on the scene. Oh yeah, and while you're at it, won't you watch some of our older videos so you can say to yourself, oh snap, they were doing that a year ago. My favorite person just started doing that a week ago. Alright, I know some of you lurkers out there are mad at what I'm saying and I don't give a f. But for the viewers I do care about, all you guys have a dolly day.